Hey, what's up, everybody? It's D.
And I'm Tati.
And we are Wanderlust and Us. So today we're introducing our new series, Life Abroad Unfiltered. This is a series where we follow individuals and families that live abroad, and they show us a day-to-day what they do in their daily lives to live abroad.
Yes, so we are looking forward to answering some of those main questions and answers for you guys. One being why, how, what do you do for money? How do you have this? How do you do that? We want to answer all of those questions that we see in everybody's comments. We are going to have a wide range of guests come on and speak. We hope that this is greatly beneficial for you all. We are looking forward to sharing the lives of some people who've made that big move to move abroad.
Most importantly, this is a motivational piece to let everybody back home, wherever home is for you, to let you know that you can do it too. And we're going to show you exactly how people are doing it, just to let you know that it's all possible.
That's right. So we are going to introduce you to our first family very shortly. We are so excited to meet with them. This neighborhood is beautiful. I don't know how they found this gym. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So we are walking upon them. Let's see. To be the first of our episode series, and we are coming bearing a little gifts. You guys will see what's inside soon. This is lovely. All right. Friends. Hey guys. Hello. Look at that belly. How are you? Wow. Oh my God. Hi, buddy. Hi.
You remember them from Vietnam?
Hi,
You remember your friends?
I'm upset. His little gift didn't come.
Hi. My name is Shanice Shaibivia, and this is our baby boy, Cairo. He wants to play right now. And
Nice to meet y'all. How long y'all been out here in Bangkok?
been out here a year and a half. Yeah, we've been out here a year and a half, pretty much, yeah, in Bangkok. Yes. Bring him downstairs to play. Just, I don't know if he's, oh, this is Kushi, by the way.
Hi, Kushi.
This is our amazing
It's okay.
man.
We're gonna be all friends.
Oh my goodness, so cracking up. He goes to, there are a couple that will take him to, some of them is more like story time, interactive. Some of them are a little bit further, but this one is really close. So
Nice.
we like to, sometimes we'll take him there.
Ain't nobody on YouTube driving in a car with a baby in the back. First to do it on YouTube, man.
Let's get out of here.
All right, so where we going to?
Goodness, Twin Cosmos Cafe.
All right.
It's I think it's a play and learn center that he usually goes to. So
How long it took you to learn how to drive out here, man?
not long, because I was also driving in Jamaica when we went there. So
Okay.
it kind of just felt natural.
How's the traffic and the motorbikes
That's
being everywhere and
horrible.
people popping out?
That's horrible. It's really bad. You always have to make sure to look out for the bikes.
You got to have a lot of patience too, huh?
Yeah.
So do you got to drive around for work or
Nah.
just family errands?
Yep. I work from home, so we only got a car because when we were thinking about the fact that she is pregnant with the second child,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, well, we need a car just in case we have to make an emergency trip to the hospital or something,
Okay.
and don't want to be waiting for a Grab to do that.
No, I understand that.
Because sometimes, we'll order a Grab and it'll be on its way.
And then it cancels?
They will cancel on us.
So the place we going to now, is this a place that y'all frequent day by day, or?
Usually sometimes it used to be once a week, but we've been slowly kind of scaling it back. But yeah.
Okay, what do y'all do there?
Well, it's kind of like a play area. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that he can do. There's a slide there, a ball pit. They serve food also. So.
So how does the license process work and everything?
Well, they give you the documents. They gave us documents from the original seller. And then so they signed everything over to us, and then we had to go to the, can't even remember the name of it. It was someplace in Chattahoochee that we had to go and get it registered. So, and it's in our names now. So whenever we leave Thailand, we might sell it. Probably have to sell it for less than what we paid for it, but it's fine because we only paid 1,300 USD for it. I mean,
definitely, you're gonna end up spending that over time quick anyway.
Yeah.
Messing with Grab, those $3-4 add a quick $10 if you're going far.
Yeah.
Right now we're at the mall. We're at True Digital Mall. It's a full-blown grocery store in here when you walk in inside the mall.
Yeah, it's the bottom layer.
So this is a place you like to just come to and chill out, get something to eat and stuff?
Yeah, there's a food court upstairs we're gonna head to.
Okay.
It's usually where I go to get something.
This is my first time here, so you gotta show me around, man.
I got you. They got a lot of stuff. Yeah, I do.
They have everything in here.
Post office.
Eye doctor, places, dentist, grocery store, post office, currency exchange. They have everything in here. That's one thing about these malls in Thailand.
Yeah, they do include everything for you. Going to the food court. Other than that, it's this waffle place, Maru Waffle. I don't know if you heard of it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they can put stuff inside of it.
I'm still discovering food out here, man. When I don't like to think about it, I just go with what we know. Now, with the process of moving overseas, what sacrifices did you have to make? And did family and friends support you, or did they talk down about it? Or
friends supported it, family supported it too. We had some people that didn't, but I'm more of a person where it's just like, okay, if you don't want to support something I'm doing, then I'm just not going to talk to you about it. Sacrifices. The only thing I felt like I sacrificed was being able to talk to friends, like being able to see them face to face was the thing that really was different. And then also just gaming. I had to sacrifice gaming, of course.
Why you had to sacrifice gaming?
Because I had to sell it before I came here.
Oh, you can get another one, man.
I feel like I haven't had time to buy another one.
Yeah. It's crazy how you moved over here to free up time, and somehow your time is still accounted for.
Yeah, so that's what, when I went to college, I started therapy, and that's what actually made me become a therapist, because I was talking to my therapist about how to become one. Because I realized that I really like psychology and how the brain works. And I was like, oh, well, if I can understand my own brain, maybe I can stop being so shy and socially anxious.
How long were you in therapy to get rid of social anxiety and shyness?
I would say about 2 years.
Okay.
But it could have went shorter. The only issue was when I first started therapy in college, it was around like the end of the second semester. And then by the time I came back for the summer, a new therapist had started.
So do you do this privately or?
Yeah, so I do it. I have a full-time job, but I also have my own private practice, Cliniopy Helping House. It's a play on words with clinical therapy. I just combined it. Cliniopy Helping House. And I came up with the name, maybe about 8 years ago. And so I just got my LCSW about a year ago. And since then, I've been able to see clients with my own private practice rather than having to rely solely on a company, which has been helpful because I feel like I'm able to be the face of it. And so I've been getting a lot of Black families reaching out for help for their kids. And that's really been helpful for me to see families just wanting to be connected and just seeing that they want to be there for their children. And it's 100% telehealth. So I don't know if I'm able to do sessions over here. One of the things I work with a lot is anxiety and depression, and just seeing the kids that I work with, get over the depression, start seeing life differently, it's just like such an amazing thing, to the point where I feel like I'm about to. I always get a little teary eyed when I start talking about it.
Understandably so.
Because it's just like so powerful to see. And it just makes me feel good as a person. And it also, it just helps me as a Christian. I just feel like I'm doing God's work. And then I'm just helping just the next generation to just be better and get over things. And, because suicide rates are really high sometimes when it comes to teenagers, especially when they feel like they're not being understood. And, during those teenage years, you're going through those hormones, trying to fit in with people, not, trying to figure out who you are as a person. And just having someone there that's actually grounded is helpful. So they don't have to feel like they have to try to fit in with a group that they don't really want to fit in with, but they're like, well, they're around, so let me just do it. Just having someone to talk to is what I really love.
All right, so welcome to our humble abode. This is our Thai home. We're standing in the entry area. This is the first living room area, and we set this up this is baby boy. He's 2, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering. So we have a 2-year-old right now, and this is his learn and play area. So he loves. So hubby just took out his writing pad. It's basically a drawing pad. It's not an iPad because we tried to not do screen time. But anyway, this is a drawing pad. He loves cars. Play toys is here, and homeschooling area. So even though he's just 2, we're prepping for homeschool, right?
And it's been amazing to see how much he actually remembers of this.
Yes, don't underestimate 2-year-olds, children, in general, babies, because they'll learn what you want them to learn, really. Because when we got this chart set up for homeschooling, we thought that we were just going to focus on the basic stuff, things that he already knows, shapes and numbers, the alphabet and counting. This also talks in Thai as well, so he's learning a little bit of Thai also. But yeah, we were surprised how he picked up on the solar system. He'll just come over here and point out Neptune and Venus and the sun. He loves the moon and emotions and prepositions.
Oh, the emotions is the S one, because now he's starting to realize angry.
Wow. Okay.
So that's been really interesting.
Yeah, that was funny. Yesterday he was telling me to say angry.
Yeah.
And so he knows all the emotions now, so he's learning that. And my day, we go over this with him, what your day, what that's in Thai. What my day looks like, and
I have a whole school set up.
Yeah, my preposition, surprisingly.
Yeah. Okay. We usually have his toilet seat up there, but it's back there.
And this is a closet area. So we have good closet space just for extra storage, luggages, stuff like that. And then
lovely kitchen.
So eat a lot of fruits and veggies. And so when we go to the grocery store, like we just went on Saturday, we like to stock up on those kind of items.
Yeah. We stock up on a whole bunch of stuff.
Don't show the fridge now.
On your
Don't show the fridge.
What you talking about?
Well, yeah, it's mostly just.
Oh, y'all loaded up.
Yeah.
All the fruits in there.
Veggies at the bottom.
Veggies down there.
Veggies on the bottom. Yeah, because also baby boy, we like to cook his meals at home, and again, our nanny helps out with that, with cooking his meals. So he mostly eats at home, but when we're out, we'll eat out.
He eats a lot, so.
And he loves his dragon fruit. You see all these. When we go to a local market, that's mostly Thai people. Foreigners don't really go there, which is our little secret. So I'm not gonna mention the name of the market. I'm sorry, you guys. But listen. Thailand has a lot of markets. Everywhere you go, you will find a local market, maybe even in your village. So you're not short of. So me not telling you the name of this market, it's fine. Don't worry. You'll find your market, okay? We found ours.
And all of this.
And it's so affordable.
How much did it cost us?
This in the fridge, including this and a whole bunch of other stuff that we got. We got wipes too. We got honey,
1,500 baht.
Thing of raw. Yeah, it's 1,500 Thai baht, which is around 45-ish US dollars. Remember in the US when we would go grocery shopping, a little bag, almost 200 US dollars. You're not getting all of these fruits and veggies.
Yeah, pretty much everything came furnished. We didn't have to come with anything, which was also great.
Yeah, that is true.
Not having
Except
to worry
for plants, plants and stuff. But as far as hard furniture, the storage, the TV, the couch, everything came
Yeah.
with the house. Downstairs, you saw the fridge and the tables. That all came with the house. The everything.
So when we leave, we just leave what we came with, and that is helpful because we've done a lot of moving over the years.
Yes, we've done a lot of moving.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of my breaking points, I had quite a few, but I would say one of my main breaking point was after the birth of our son in 2023, dealing with the aftermath of the health insurance situation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's been such a long time now.
Yes, because we paid out of pocket for our birth. We wanted to have a more holistic, natural birth experience, and we chose to have a birth center birth. And when we looked up the policy with my insurance, um, it was through the military, but it's something that I paid for because I was a reservist. So it was not free health insurance. I paid for it. And so when we looked at the policy, they did reimburse for, they stated that they were reimbursed for natural, planned home births and birth center births. And so we're like, okay, great.
That sounds stressful. That'll stress me out.
The most horrible experience. And I that made me realize how much of a scam the US healthcare system is, and just how much I do not want to deal with it anymore. Yeah.
We're excited to hear more about your story. So if you would, let us know who you are and how long you've been in Thailand.
Okay.
Gotta start. Alright. I'm Raymond. We've been in Thailand for a year and a half now. Came here September of 2023.
2024. 2024.
Oh yeah, 2024. So,
I know, time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
It's a good time here. And you, ma'am?
Yes, I'm Shanice, also known as Shai Bivya. And yeah, we've been in Thailand for a year and a half.
Okay. And how long, if you could choose, do you expect to be in Thailand? If you could just put a number out there.
I think I would say at least 5 years.
Okay.
Initially, right? That's what we were thinking.
yeah, but I wanted to stay longer. So.
Yeah, but more than yeah,
Definitely infinity.
exactly. Yeah,
50 years.
we'll definitely be here for longer. And like while we're here, we've been like kind of in and out, of Thailand, traveling.
Yes.
But as far as like home base, home, yeah.
Why Thailand? Why did you leave America? You moved from Texas, right? Okay.
Yeah, we were living in Texas before we came here. We chose Thailand because I know for me personally, I love tropical weather. I was born in the Caribbean, so I love the tropical weather. We visited Thailand actually before in 2022, right? We took a sabbatical. That's when I first quit my flight attendant job. We took a sabbatical to Southeast Asia. We went to Bali, Indonesia, and then we came to Thailand as well. We really liked it. And I chose it because number one it's also really far from the US. And I just really wanted to be far from the US. I wanted to be somewhere tropical. I actually love the how cost effective it is as well. Being here, like the pricing, the affordability, the people, that we experienced, the culture that we experienced in Thailand. So all of those things mainly for me. Yeah, the weather, actually the accessibility as well to things. So I love like the different markets and just the food stalls, produce, fruits, veggies. Like it kind of reminded me as well, kind of like back home where you can just walk on the street and you can get some watermelon, some mangoes. You don't have to like go to a fancy grocery store just to get something. Yeah, we fell in love with that. And then also at the time when we were really serious about moving abroad, we were looking at options in regards to whether that's residency, long-term visa, because we do have a family. We did not want to go somewhere where, okay, every 3 months or something, we have to leave. So we really wanted something a little bit more long-term. So we did look at Indonesia because I think they already had that 1-year visa, or did it just come out? Because I remember we were like,
I think they have a visa now. Trying to decide.
Yeah, we were trying to decide which one was going to be better, and we were looking at Indonesia because they had a 1 year one. But in Thailand, like we applied for it, we still got that 1 year visa in Indonesia, so we had options. And then right that summer when we were looking at options, Thailand came out with their long-term, visa, and so we applied, and we're like, okay, Thailand is going to be the first
So what
stop.
was the why? Raymond, why did you guys leave Texas and come to Thailand?
I think we just wanted a better life. I think I was sharing earlier things, and I felt like things in America were just really expensive. Rent and everything, and groceries, and just wanting a different life, just wanting more freedom, more relaxation. And I kind of feel like in order to get the feeling that we were getting in Bali, we'd have to move to states that sometimes you don't really want to move to. Like, if you have a life in Texas, you don't want to have to move to Florida to go to the beach, or I have to move back to North Carolina to enjoy the beach, stuff like that. So, yeah, we moved over here, and I know we were thinking it was a toss up between Bali and Thailand. I know I felt more comfortable coming to Thailand because I still wanted like access to healthcare was the main thing I was thinking about. So I was like, okay, if anything happens, I want my family to be okay. And I think it was just like my American brain thinking that Bali didn't have the best healthcare. And then when we got there, you had got Bali belly, and then Cairo had got a little bit of it. And when we went to the hospital, I felt so comfortable. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I had to check in and then had to wait, because we went to the emergency room in the U.S. one time. We were there for like 5 hours.
It was horrible. The
Just
worst
for-
experience ever. I was like, I'm
Just-
never doing this again.
I thought I had a blood clot for 3-4 hours. With a blood clot skin.
It's
dead already.
yeah, it's crazy.
Straight to the heart.
It was a problem.
And it was with our baby. It was a children's hospital with our baby
Yeah.
boy. We felt like, oh, why would he look like he was straining? And it was just like, we just
Yeah.
want him to be seen. We saw like 5 people before we saw the actual doctor.
Yeah, 5
They asked us
people
for our
asked
IDs
us
twice.
the same
2 different
question.
process.
And
Yeah.
so I think that was, and so I was just thinking maybe Bali doesn't have the best healthcare or whatever. But then when that happened, when we walked into the hospital, they instantly just took his vitals. They were like, okay.
Yeah, we didn't even check in.
No, we hadn't checked in yet. They were just like, okay, go over here. The doctor's gonna call you in immediately. We went in. Doctor tested him. He was like, oh, it looks like he just has a little stomach bug thing. So he gave us some stuff for him, and we were on our way in like 20 minutes.
And the pharmacy was also built like
Yeah.
right in the hospital.
Yeah.
So we got the whatever they gave him, the medicine
And how
for
much
him.
did that cost?
It wasn't a lot.
$7. It was some really.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah.
It
And
was
we
something-
had safe doing too still at the time, and they reimbursed us for everything.
Yeah, it was something
The
really
total
small.
cost was, I don't think it was anything more than like $70 for everything
No way.
to be seen and
That's
everything.
amazing.
And so, but yeah, to go back to the question about, I guess why we
That's a-
decided to leave.
Yeah.
Quality of life, essentially.
Quality of life.
All
Yeah.
in all areas.
Yeah.
Beach, I want to go to the beach. I don't want to move to that. There's the other
Yeah.
like California. I would have loved to live in California, but you need to be a billionaire to live. Like the house I want, house over the hill, overlooking the ocean, floor to ceiling windows all around. Who's getting that there? I'd rather build it than release that.
And for me, I think the seed was really planted for a while of moving abroad. In 2022, when we visited Bali, Indonesia, we stayed there for an extended time. Again, this was a sabbatical. We were just like, oh my gosh, it was the most therapeutic experience of my entire life. We looked at land. That's a whole different situation. Because, buying land in other countries is kind of, gray area-ish. There's a lot of red tape. But that's how serious I was about moving abroad. And so the seed was kind of planted then, like, oh, I think I could see myself living in Southeast Asia. And I've always been like a traveler ever since I migrated to the US as a teenager. And then when I first started traveling outside of the US, I was like, it's like once you experience life out of the US, it's just hard to unsee it.
You cannot.
It's-
You cannot.
It's hard to unsee it. Yes, one of the first places I went to outside of the US was in Mexico.
Ooh, that means
And yeah, I fell in love and I was like, oh, I have to do this every year. I was pretty young because I started working in corporate like when I was like 19-ish and I started traveling like around 21-ish.
you was young with that
Well,
money. Yeah, getting around.
a little something, not too much. I wasn't making that much money, but it was, it was definitely
It's comfortable.
definitely something for someone that, came to the country and had to start over and everything. And so, yeah, 21 or so, I started really traveling and I just fell in love. And then was like, I have to do this every year. And then at 25, I became a flight attendant because I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I joined the Air Force too. And so I was doing a lot of traveling. Yeah, during that time. And I was like, yeah, so I always just enjoyed not being in the US. Let's say that. I was one of those girls in corporate, right? When I was like 19, 20, 21, I would use every single inch of my vacation days. Like I was not saving vacation days. Like I was not that person.
My vacation was in the negative. Take it out the next check.
Yeah, it was in the negative at one point.
Now, and I'm up out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
People work nowadays.
So so in 2022 I decided to walk away from my flight attendant job, which I know it sounds crazy because it was my dream job with my dream airline, one of the major, US airline carriers. But one of the reasons why I decided to walk away was I felt like it was time. I also was kind of having a lot of anxiety and stuff around work and just a lot that comes with being in the aviation industry. It looks glamorous on the outside, but until you actually are in the industry or someone, you know how like intense it can be. But also I felt like God was just leading me out of it. I was getting into entrepreneurship. My business was growing. My business at that point was now replacing actually my flight attendant income. And so I knew that eventually God was calling me to be a mom and all of that. And not saying that you can't be a parent while you are in that industry. I know tons of people, pilots, flight attendants who have families, they have regular lives, their dogs or whatever. But I just did not want to constantly be away from home, right? Like I wanted to be more grounded, be more present at home. And so, yeah, I decided to walk away from that. And I do consulting. So that's one of my incomes. In 2022, I was mostly doing a lot of like YouTube. I was, believe it or not, like YouTube also, the income was very significant at that time too. And so I was also doing consulting. And I started also a loan business where we help US based businesses, all across the US access funding. And so I don't lend my own money. I partner with lenders and yeah, the businesses will get funding through them because a lot of businesses don't realize that they can actually get funding outside of the traditional banks, the major banks that we know. And these traditional banks deny small businesses loans up 70%. 70% of small businesses, they deny them. And so a lot of businesses don't realize that they can get funding through alternative options. And so basically, my business is the middleman. I call myself the remote money lender, kind of like being a loan broker, pretty much. And so businesses will come through me and I help them get funding. So I've been also doing that since 2022, a bit of consulting work as well at that time. I used to do a lot of short-term rental. We don't do it now, but that's some of what I do.
Doing therapy, how's that been going for you being overseas? How's the adjustment for that?
Oh, it's been really good. The only thing sometimes is working at nights. Your body has to get used to it, the adjustment of being up at night and then sleeping during the day and then getting up and it's still day. That's been one of the more trickier things. But other than that, I really enjoy it. I love my company. I love the work that I do with children and teen therapy, and it's been really good to see. Even when I'm remote, seeing that my clients are still progressing and making strides, and still being able to get over the things that they're struggling with.
That's so important. So, for the demographic, is it mostly young men or women?
Ah, Yeah, I have a mix. Goodness, I have a mix of women, girls, boys. I only do children and teens. Do some adults as well, but it's not really my specialty. I love working with children and teens more.
So what's the age, like the youngest and the oldest?
Usually oldest 25, and youngest I work with is 3.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
Doing telehealth with younger kids though, you have to be more active. So sometimes it can be a lot, especially if I have a lot of clients during that week. But I still do love it. I just know that when I have those 3, 4 year olds, it's I'm gonna have to ramp up the energy some. So maybe gotta drink an energy drink real quick. So, okay.
Speaking of which, that's what I wanted to ask next. What does life actually look for you guys right now in Bangkok with a toddler and another baby on the way?
Crazy. Yeah, I won't say crazy, but really interesting. Really interesting. But um it it takes a lot of mindfulness, right? Being very mindful. Let me start with that, with especially having a toddler and then prepping for, the new baby. But I think having some help helps with that. Like it definitely helps with that, having some support in our home, because he's resting a lot sometimes during the mornings because he works at night. And so it's mostly just me in the mornings. And so having support during the day, like with our nanny, she helps out with him. She's very helpful, cleaning up, helping with light meal prep and washing dishes. And
How many days a
when
week?
That's nice. She helped with the meal prep and everything.
yeah, she helps with meal prep. And when he goes to sleep, she rests. She gets to rest too. Like he takes naps during the day, like 2.5 hours for 2.5 hours ish, and she gets her breaks. And sometimes she helps with laundry. Actually, she'll fold, so it's just really really nice. And yeah, she's with us for like 5 days, 5 days a week, except for every other week she's with us for like 6 days a week. But yeah, she's a phenomenal added support to our family, because yeah, she's here, but we're also here. Like I'm in and out, like I'm helping with organizing things, helping with homeschooling, popping in and out if I need to. I get work done during the days mostly. And so it's really helpful to have her around. And sometimes she'll take him to like some play and learn type of place, which they are there now, So it's been really, really helpful, very very helpful, because for us we get to still have some date nights, like some Saturdays when she's here we get to do some date nights or brunch dates or whatever, or like now we get to do a peaceful interview.
Shopping, like grocery, man, shopping with kids is, ooh, I remember those times.
Yeah, so when we go to the market's gonna be crazy because we go to like a local
They're
market.
overstimulated for me. I know he's turned up over there.
Yeah.
Well,
I know
he was actually calm the last time we took him.
Really?
It was really
Yeah, we took him
interesting.
one time just to see, just for him to experience like the market,
He was
How was
calm.
he?
Yeah, he was calm. He
Yeah.
was just pointing out things that
He
he
wanted to
saw.
grab stuff though. He
Yeah, that
wanted
was
to
the
grab
only
some
thing.
Oh,
stuff.
that's good. I'm telling you, I'm overstuck. I'm very overstimulated at those markets. The motorbikes coming through. And
Yeah.
so how much a month does that cost to maintain and have your nanny here? About how much?
Yeah, yeah. So having a nanny here in Thailand, it varies, depends on their like
Schedule.
their schedule, like how, which we'll get into that, but like how many children they're probably taking care of, their workload and different things like that. So you can expect to pay anywhere between like 12,000 Thai baht to around
Maybe like 20. Yeah.
20-ish. Yeah, it depends on like
Yeah.
how long
So about,
they're working during the day.
I don't
Yeah.
know the
Ours
conversion
is
for
our
that for USD.
yeah.
Okay, so
Ours is around like
low range. That's about $370.
yeah, maybe that's more
Not
part-time ish, but
not bad.
yeah. It's pretty good. It's comparing to the U.S. prices. Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
that's
really
not, and
good.
all that's included,
Yeah.
and to know that your baby is safe, because that's a lot of things too. You see people in the news, their babies are not going to daycare and they're dying. I just watched a video. The baby was supposed to be taking a nap, and the girl smothered the baby because she was on her phone.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
I
like,
saw that. I saw
like leaving the
that.
babies in the cars, and you know, so you have your
You
personal. That all the time goes to your baby, and you they're
exactly.
trusted. You know, it's just too much going on.
And what we pay is we pay on the like more mid tier, maybe around like 500 ish something US dollars or something like that. Yes, a little bit higher than that. But that was one of our things too. Even in the US, we did not want to do daycare. It's just not something that I wanted to do, especially with already being at home. And I'm just very paranoid, like, because he's at an age and he was at an age where he couldn't really speak for himself, and so I did not want him in an environment where I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we
And
talked about that too.
right, and again, like you talked about, like you see all these things that's happening in the daycares. He would not have that one-on-one specialized like attention, and so I just did not want that. And so
Family? Did you have family in Texas?
no, we didn't have family in Texas. It was literally just us.
Yeah, and
I'll be
friends.
honest, it was a little bit it was stressful. It was hard because he was also out to work. He was not working remotely. He was out, and baby was a lot younger. And so for me, it was a lot of just me keeping up with everything, breastfeeding. Huh?
No nanny around.
No,
And
no,
at
yeah,
the
we didn't have a
time,
nanny.
I
So
don't.
y'all used to living in different places and it just being y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all having to find y'all
Yeah, for an
things,
entire
figure it out.
year, it was literally just us. Like no family to say, "Hey, keep him for 5 hours or for the weekend." It was literally just us. One time we had someone, I think it was somebody from your school or something, volunteered, and it was nice of her because we were able to go on like a date, and it felt so strange. And that was after, I don't even know how long,
That was
7 months,
yeah.
8 months
So
of.
that boils down into
That was the first time we went on a date.
In 7 months, and it felt strange.
It felt strange, like, oh my gosh, I don't have my baby.
And now look,
Like, what are we
talking about a change in quality of life. Oh
Yeah.
my
Real
God.
change quality of life.
Yeah, we did look into some type of care, but at least part time, because I was trying. My business was really growing. I was trying to get that off the ground as well, my loan business and stuff. And I would have to like be in the bathroom on calls sometimes because things just kind of took off more than at that time. More than I really expected, and I was like on calls in the bathroom while baby was taken, and I was kind of crazy. And so I was like, okay, we have to see what type of care that we can get. And so we went on care.com, and it's like they bait and switched. Yeah.
What the price is.
Yep.
And I'm, man,
They said it was one price, and then when I reached out, it's like double the price. I'm
goes
like,
up.
okay.
and that's care.com. That's still having essentially a nanny come to you, not the daycares. Oh my gosh, daycare is so expensive in America. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So not having family around is not too much, too bothersome.
No, here in
yes, actually much better.
okay, our family may watch this and be like, wow. But you know what?
We can drop that.
We no, it's okay. Keep it in. The thing is, we've gotten so used to. As far as me, I've had an interesting life where I feel like I've always been away from family in a sense. And so, I in when I was living in Jamaica up to like 7, my mom left to go to the UK when I was 7 years old, and I was living with my maternal grandmother until she passed away at like when I was 10-ish, and then I had to go live with my dad and my dad's family. And then after that, my mom eventually kind of came back at when I was around 16-ish, so 10 years without seeing my mom.
Oh wow.
And so she came back for us to start getting ready to move to the US. And then I got kicked out at 18. I was living with, it was her, with siblings.
Love do that.
Yeah, but yeah. Technically, it was her husband that kicked me out. Her husband, and I was living with siblings, their children that they had together while in the UK. And so I got kicked out at 18 with nothing. So I had to figure life out literally as this immigrant with the zero, like the nothing. Like, I don't have time to really get into the backstory of like, that struggle and stuff, but had to figure out life on my own at 18. And so I was always away from family. And yeah,
Well, you guys
feel
made a
Definitely
beautiful
did
life.
great. Both of
Yeah,
them.
look
Y'all
at
definitely
you.
did
I
great.
mean, I feel like I do have family that support me. The only issue is I didn't want to stay in North Carolina. That was the
Yeah.
thing. I was just like, I want to branch out. I don't want to feel like just because my family's here, I have to stay here and I have to try to make a life work here. It's just
That's how a lot of Southern families are too. I'm from the South. My mom's side of the family from North Carolina, and they live and die by it. They are not leaving Carolina. They're from there, born there, raised there for generations to come. They are not leaving North Carolina. I understand.
I just couldn't do it. I think the first time, and it probably sounds really crazy, but the first time I realized there was something different in North Carolina is when I went to Virginia. I happened to tour the VCU, the college that I went to for my master's degree, and I was like, wait, stuff exists like this? I was like, so why am I still thinking about staying in North Carolina? And then from there, I think I just slowly transitioned to, okay, well, if this looks like this in another state, what does it look like in another country? So,
Wow, that's the thing. You have to have a progressive mindset to live the lives that we do. You have to let go of those attachments to what you're familiar with, and taking your situations and circumstances and making the best of them. And that's why we're able to live the way that we do, because we don't have that fear. Yes, you have some fears or insecurities or hesitations, but you have your faith, you have God, and you take a leap.
Yeah.
So a lot of people aren't willing to do that kind of work, but then they're looking at us like, how can you live like that? But they don't want to leave their hometown. They don't want to make any changes that we've made to live the life that we desire. Like, maybe I can.
Yeah.
And then you see how possible it is. People don't want to, what am I going to do for work? So that's what this is about, is showing people there's all kind of different circumstances that you can have to allow you to live abroad. You literally have a U.S. company as a therapist allow you to live abroad. People have 1,000,001 excuses, but they don't try, or they don't know. And so that's what this is important to show, all of it. That's why we want to show the days in the life, because people just don't think they can do it. And then they don't want to leave family. And then, of course, you've got all the naysayers. And it's just like, if I choose what you want versus what I want, who's gonna be happy? And then you're not supporting me anyway. You weren't there helping me with the baby. You weren't there helping me cook meals. You weren't doing anything to relieve our load and to help us with our quality of life, which we have now. But some people still want, have so much to say. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm super proud of you guys for that. As when the baby comes, how will you have the same nanny? Will you have two?
Do
we'll
you have any fears or worries?
have two.
Yeah,
Well,
two nannies.
but temporarily, we feel as though just those first couple of months. Because,
Overnight. So
yeah, because the first couple of months was really hard for her last time, but because I wasn't around as much, because my job at the time, I didn't have FMLA at the time, so I'd only gotten 2 weeks off, and that was it. Then had to go straight back to work. So now just feeling like we have the means to get additional support. So yeah, we're gonna have two temporary.
Yeah, now you've upgraded yourself.
Yes.
Now
I really love that, because those are the luxuries that, especially as Black families, Black women, we don't have to struggle like that. And not only is it's helping us, but it's helping them too. Like, we are providing, they love it, We're
they love
providing
their
a lifestyle
jobs.
for them.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing here. It's a cultural thing here in Asia in general, not even just Thailand, where families have support. Like, the U.S. is a very individualistic society, where it's like you do it alone.
They shame you for having a housekeeper.
Shame you for
needing help. You can't take care of your baby. You can't do this.
Don't even get me started.
But at the same time, it's very normal, right, for you to send your child to daycare, right? Or for you to send your child to school in the U.S. while you go to work. So what's the difference with you and me, having support, choosing to have specialized support inside my home? And so, it's very individualistic in the U.S., but over here, we've experienced it in Indonesia, in Jakarta.
Sorry.
You okay?
The nanny message, so I'm just reading what she
You
said.
need a break?
Oh no, you're fine.
No, we're gonna keep that in there. That's live.
I think she just sent
Got
it.
a nanny message.
Yeah, she just sent the video of his food that he's eating. That's all.
He's
See,
eating.
so
Look at
Yeah.
that.
that's one thing that we talked about, how nannies send videos throughout the day.
Yeah.
The good
That's
and the bad of things.
individualized care. But the fact that you
Yeah.
have someone that he trusts and he feels comfortable with,
Yeah.
and she knows how to manage that's family.
Yeah.
That's his,
Yeah.
that's
So she's
his
like,
auntie.
yeah, she's like probably even when she's not here, he'll say, he'll mention her name for stuff and
Yeah,
stuff
if
like
he hear a
that.
bike outside,
He's
he's
like-
asking if it's her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so special. Like,
And,
that's so
and so in Indonesia, in Jakarta, we were in
Yeah.
Jakarta. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, every
Everyone.
every family with like a young baby had a nanny out with them. And I was talking to one of the ladies in the changing room at the time when we were there, and she was telling me that it's very common for them to have support, because a lot of times, sometimes both parents work and they just prefer that personalized care.
Jakarta was interested.
And then
Yeah.
great, deal with postpartum.
Yeah, postpartum. So
Get away and get a breath and breathe
Yeah.
for a moment.
yeah, because our first postpartum experience was it was like survival mode. It was just like it was literal, like no sleep. I don't know how we did it with no sleep. Yeah, no.
My girl is with child. Right,
But
right.
I think I'm around 26.
26 weeks. Okay.
27.
27. That's okay. We almost 30 weeks. We're almost 30 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has the experience been for you, prenatal care, and how's it been different from here in the States?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. I think the US is very like, next patient,
Yes,
next patient,
exactly.
next patient, that thing. It's not like that. It's not really personable. Like, they don't really remember what you told them. Like,
Exactly.
different things like that. And so, 8 minutes of going.
That's
So,
unheard of.
and I think one of the reasons why God really was leading me to switch my care, because I was going to have such a fast birth. Had I gone to the hospital, it would have been, check in, 1,000 questions,
All of that. Took
all
you
of
up to the
this.
monitor.
do this.
It would have been more stressful and traumatic.
It would have
Maybe
been more
traumatic.
stressful. Yeah,
Maybe
and so
traumatic.
maybe I would have given birth in somebody's wheelchair or the elevator going there, because they wouldn't believe that I was
Mm-hmm.
this mom in labor, because I was pretty
And
hot.
as you know, have you been seeing the news? Like,
Girl,
they
yes.
send people home.
Yes, because
And
you're
then
so
they have birth in the car.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Especially when it comes to us. Like, we just handle pain differently.
It's like, why can't you have a calm birth? Why can't you be
Right.
calm during
Okay,
labor?
right.
Everybody's birth experience is different.
Yes. So now
Okay.
comparing that to here,
Mhm.
when you found out you were pregnant, to finding the right provider to kind of still honor that birth experience, I'm sure you want something similar, right? You don't want to, because a lot of countries are just prone to C-sections and things like that. So did you find a good provider here? And then the cost, what was that like?
So that was one of my main concerns. Am I going to be able to do a home birth? Because since I did the birth center, we were going to do the home birth, but my husband was like, it's the first birth, we feel more comfortable. But he felt more comfortable doing it at least at the birth center.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too far from the hospital anyway. And so this time around, I'm like, I feel pretty good about doing a home birth. So then I started doing my research, if I can have a home birth here. But unfortunately, they don't necessarily practice. It's not a thing really in Thailand, at least not in major cities in Thailand, like Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, what is the closest thing I can get to a more natural, holistic experience here? So I did my research, and then I found an OB that specializes in natural births.
Okay.
So she's one of the only that really specializes in natural births. The thing about Thailand, they do have somewhat of a high C-section rate, not because of the doctor's choices necessarily, but a lot of the women here, I read about it, and it's like they're very particular with like the dates, like their due dates.
They want and when my date comes up, get it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another reason is just a lot of women just prefer it.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
a lot of it is like, and
That's interesting.
yeah. And so I wanted a doctor at least that specializes and does a lot of natural births. So I was able to find one. She specializes in expat natural water births as well. And so I was actually
Expat specific.
yeah, as expats. And so I found her and I started
Awesome.
I started seeing her, and when you go in her office, she has like hundreds of pictures. I've never seen this ever, like in any like doctor's office or wherever. She has like hundreds of pictures of like deliveries.
Oh,
Like-
that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So you felt instantly comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this meets my needs.
Mhm. She seems like she listens. She
Okay.
understands. Yeah.
Okay, that
Mhm.
I love that you found someone that really will honor you and your wishes, because that's so important, because birth can be traumatic if it goes that way.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. But pricing wise, so they have packages starting out from around 4,000 USD ish.
For natural vaginal delivery.
Yeah, natural
Okay.
vaginal delivery to about I think if it's like C-section, it's about like 7,000 ish, 6,000 US dollars.
$6,000 to $7,000
Yeah.
for a C-section.
Mm-hmm.
And does that includes the hospital
That's it.
stay after, like postpartum?
Yeah, so it includes up to like 3 days. It includes everything. The thing that I love with Thailand and just
Oh my God.
in general countries outside of the US, the price is straight up. It's like, this is what you're paying in case of this, this, and this, and that. There's no surprises like,
Yes.
because this happened, this. No, this is the price.
Right.
You have a natural delivery, this is the price.
Oh my
If you have a
God.
C-section, if you have epidural or whatever medication that comes with it, this
Okay.
delivery
the
and postpartum.
delivery and
It
postpartum.
includes like your hospital stay.
So the package is paying for the hospital stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the delivery, however you deliver, and the hospital
Okay,
stay.
so let's go to when you go to the doctor. So prenatal. Let's talk about prenatal, and then we'll go to the packaging. So how every appointment that you have, how often do you go, and how much does it cost, and what's included in the appointment?
So right now, like first trimester, second trimester, it's like once a month ish, once a month or twice a month. It really depends. But we pay as we go. So it's usually around like 2,000 Thai baht.
Okay.
That's around like $60 US ish.
Uh-huh.
And then like sometimes additional fee like 500, Thai baht for some type of medical fee. So it's about like $75 ish per visit for the prenatal visit, the ultrasound,
Okay.
all of that. Like
Not
ultrasound.
out of pocket. That's
And that's
not bad.
out of pocket.
Not bad.
If
Okay.
you have insurance that's paying up front, fine. If they're reimbursing you, still the same price. Your
Okay.
insurance is paying $60. They're reimbursing you $60. It's still the same price. So it's not like the US where it's like, oh, if it's self-pay, it's this. If it's insurance, it's this. It's just one price.
And we'll talk about the insurance in a second. So that is for every month or once or twice a month, you're doing your prenatal care. You're seeing the doctor. You get a scan.
Yes.
Okay. So do they have different tiers? Like if you have just the basics versus 3D, 4D, do they offer that?
Yeah, so they do offer the 3D and 4D and all that, but I'm just like, I don't need to see all of that, like when
You don't want to see the features or the
No.
score light?
No, it's just strange to me.
Technology's crazy.
Isn't that strange to like see a 3D of your baby? Like I'm fine with just the regular black and white.
See the half shot, you might be able to see a little bit of the feature.
Yeah, when the baby comes out, I'll see the baby feature. That's fine. But they do have that. They do offer that. That would be like a different price. But
Okay.
a regular ultrasound, black and white, all of that is included in
Okay.
the prenatal.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So from that, that's you'll pay at the visit. So when it comes to the delivery, versus whether it's vaginal or C-section, what does that include, and how many days in the hospital does that cover?
Yes, I'll get into that. But I wanted to get into, before I got into that, the pricing of different things. So sometimes you have to do blood tests, like during pregnancy. They want to test your blood. Maybe you have a glucose test. Just different things like that. That cost us around I think he was around 3,000 Thai baht in total for like the blood work, which
Oh my gosh, that's
around like
insane.
90. It usually costs around 90 to like $100 and something for like
Yeah.
a thorough.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did do a thorough blood test.
Mhm.
At what point, like they checked for everything, like my pH levels, just everything, and that was like around. I think maybe like around 150 or something, but that's like out of pocket. That's like in the US. I mean, that would have been, I think, a good couple $1,000
Of course.
or hundreds of dollars
Yes.
at least.
At least.
So yeah. Now, in regards to what it covers, the package. So you typically stay either 3 or 4 days. That's usually their package. It's including everything like all your meals, your care with the nurse, your OB care, postpartum, like after baby's here, checkups, and so natural birth is around 4,000 ish. If you want water birth, like what I'm trying to do, is around 5,000 something US dollars.
And does this include like if so not for water, so natural birth if you want an epidural or something, is that included in that or that's an extra fee?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember, but it can't be much more than.
Yeah.
I mean, the delivery for 4 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights postpartum care is about 4,000. Natural birth, water birth, no medication, it's around like 5,000 ish. I don't remember what it is with medication, but C-section, which is more than like any kind of medication that you may have during birth.
Yeah, surgery.
It's around like 7,000 ish. I think it's like 160,000 Thai baht ish, like 7,000.
Wow.
Thai baht.
I know when I had my son ages ago, it was like 50,000. Granted, I had Medicaid at the time, but it was like 50,000 for a vaginal delivery. So
vaginal?
yeah, and so I think after insurance and everything, it's like 11,000. Which
and you still have to. Oh, because you were on Medicaid and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay that.
And it's crazy to me because I hear so many stories of that, like people getting bills for like 30,000. And even with insurance, you still have a bill.
Yeah.
Like, why do you still have a bill with
insurance? You're paying monthly or whatever, I think ultimately is they're overcharging because there's no reason for these tests or visits to cost that much.
Yeah.
But, mention insurance here. So what insurance are you speaking of? Is it because can foreigners have insurance here? What does that look like? And then how does that translate to maternity care?
Yes, so foreigners can have insurance here. In Thailand, they have a specific insurance that you can use, like a government type of insurance for foreigners, if you're a foreigner, that you can use for hospitals. You can also use international insurance, but I don't really recommend that because, it's more expensive. But if you had like a TRICARE, if you were military or something, you can use TRICARE insurance over here. And I think they accept like Cigna and stuff. What we use Safety Wing. We've been using it for over a year, and they've been really good to us. Like we've had a lot of reimbursements. A lot of times we've had to do like checkups or an emergency visit to make sure that baby boy was okay.
That's good to hear that it's not a scam and they actually reimburse you. You're paying your money. Like a lot of times, these companies go, fine is a friend. They don't want to cover nothing. Like you're scamming me.
Yeah.
Pay for it. I pay you every month.
Yeah.
Giving me my money back.
Exactly.
So, okay, good to know.
So, we've been very helpful. We've used it in Bali, Indonesia. We've used it, here in Thailand for being, well, like I said, we've had like.
What's the turnaround for the reimbursement?
Less than like 5 days. Once you submit all your receipt.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty simple. And then also what I love with this insurance that we have is that not only does it cover like emergency medical, but it also covers travel, which I 100% recommend having some type of travel insurance because you never know what will happen, especially as a family. Like you can have IROPS, delays, irregular operation, emergency evacuation. Like we've actually had to evacuate.
What?
Emergency, last year.
Way.
Yeah, in September, in Bali, Indonesia. We literally got there that night and by the next morning it was a flood.
travel insurance, folks. Wait, emergency. You guys out on the helicopter got out there?
No.
Oh,
We booked a flight to KL. Well,
okay. Oh.
It was 2024. It was not supposed to happen. Like, it was not even high peak rainy season. This was September. We were there for like my birthday and stuff, and we landed that night. And by the middle of the like in the morning, 4 a.m., we woke up to flood. And the Airbnb that we booked was like by the river too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, for all the water
was very traumatic.
So we'll be short. Safety wing sounds amazing. I too have safety wing, but I haven't had to utilize it yet. So but it's great to know that it does what it says it's going to do. So you have a referral code, right, for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll put that in the description.
Sure.
Now, as far as maternity care, do you have maternity care through Safety Wing?
So, here's the thing with maternity care. You have to... It's not that you have to get a specific, but you have to get the specific package. So the regular travel medical insurance does not cover it. The nomadic insurance, you have to get the complete plan with CTV. That covers the maternal care. That's fine. It's just that when I found out about it, I've had to have had it for at least 10 months before benefiting from the maternity care. So you have to, So because of that, we just didn't really...
They said you're not gonna scam us.
Yeah, you pay into it for a certain pay into that plan. Now we've had safety for over a year, but you have to have that specific plan for at least 10 months before it covers maternity care. But what it does cover though is like I think up to either $5,000 or $4,500 for delivery, which pretty much will cover most of it, if not all.
Okay.
And it also covers like prenatal and postpartum care. So if you need massages done, different things like that, it will cover that as well, which is pretty good. So if you're someone who is planning on, your family planning, you're planning on having a child, definitely look into, even if it's not safety wing, look at some type of travel insurance that includes maternity care and start paying into it.
And that literally is planning. Like, if you're going to plan, like, okay, I have my birth control until we are 10 months, 12 months, however many months it requires you to have the insurance. And then when you're ready, then, the time will pass regardless, but at least you will qualify for that plan that will cover you while you're abroad. So that's awesome.
And thankfully, though, my husband's company, he was able to put, a certain amount on his HSA card, debit card, and we're able to use it.
That's so good. And I love that, you don't hear many people that are able to work with their U.S. company abroad. And so I'm glad that there's some kind of workaround that you guys have some coverage. A penny, I love what these finances cover. How about the citizenship? I know that Thailand's not one of the countries that has birthright citizenship, right? Like, so Mexico is a country that does, which we are family planning. So if we do have a baby, we'll be going to Mexico because you can get residency. The baby will have its own passport, Mexican passport. Okay. So whatever I got to do to stay up out of the U.S. of A., if we're going to have a baby, we're going to make it make sense. Okay. So that's called planning, strategic planning. Okay, so back to it. Thailand, does not have birthright citizenship.
Correct.
Okay, so tell us about that process.
Yes.
What?
So when we decided to move over here, we knew that eventually we were going to have additional children, and so we were okay with the idea of not getting birthright citizenship in Thailand. Number one, because I have citizenship also in another country. I'm Jamaican born and raised, so from the Caribbean. So, so I wasn't really too pressed to have like an additional. But that's something that I strongly thought about though. I was like, Mexico though, and I love Mexico. How that will work is you have to do the counselor of birth report. I don't know what's called, but CBRA.
CBRA.
Yeah, so once your child gets here, or you can apply kind of before, and then you apply for the American passport.
So they provide a birth certificate for you?
Yes. They do all the birth certificate at the hospital.
Okay.
And also in English. And you will take it to the U.S. Embassy, which Bangkok has the U.S. Embassy as well. So
Okay.
it's
Awesome.
pretty simple, and you will just fill out the CBRA form, get your baby's passport, and
Wow.
citizenship.
That's amazing.
So your baby basically will take on your citizenship. So whatever country that you're from, if your baby's born in a country like Thailand that does not give birthright citizenship, they're taking on your citizenship. For us, it will be the U.S.
Okay.
citizenship.
And how about visas?
So the thing about Thailand is they don't penalize children for not.
Yeah, until 15 years. So actually,
Yeah.
overstayed for 15 years. Yeah.
Not that fun to do that. Not that.
No. We like to be legal around here.
Yes. Yeah. Not that we plan to do that, but
No.
just wanted to share that. So while the baby's here, when the baby's born, these are the first 3 months, being here before we leave. Then once we leave Thailand to come back, we'll make sure that our baby has the baby will be a sponsor, or will be a sponsor, I should say, of our baby.
I mean,
the visa that we have.
Of it.
Yeah, so we do have a long-term visa here, a 5-year visa here. So.
Okay, that's perfect. Are you ready? It's almost time. It's almost time to birth that baby.
I guess so. I guess I'm ready. It's so funny. I feel like after your first, I feel like you kind of like slack on a lot of things. So we've been slacking on a lot of things in regards to like getting stuff for baby. Yeah.
As long as you got a diaper, it's hot. Diaper and wax. And if you ain't got no wax, you got washcloths.
Yeah.
So I mean, what more? I mean, hey, they gonna live.
But man, next month though, we plan on, because I'm the type of person that I can really, really only laser focus on one thing at a time. So when it's time for me to get stuff for I just want to be zoned out and be focused on that. So May, I'm at first week of May. Okay, we're just gonna get everything that we need.
Well, D and I brought you guys a little something to start you off. We didn't everything that we wanted didn't come in time, but we have hopefully until May because you and your perspective.
We got some diapers.
Now I didn't understand these diapers because listen, we're in a different country. It says pants 3 to 8 kg, but I don't see a tab. I don't see a tab.
Yeah, no, it's fine. This will come in handy. They mostly do pants over here. We know it. It was very weird to us when we came over here.
Yeah, diaper bag.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everything didn't come, but we got you. We got you coming up.
It's a thought that counts.
Yes, and